beer, it's good for you.
Hello and welcome to the video. Within this video we'll be looking at everything flash brewing, which is a new type of kit from Morebeer in the US that changes the way to create fast wort compared to other types of beer kits. If you are not based in the US, then I believe this is something to pay close attention to as well, as frankly there is every chance that these types of kits will make it into Europe and beyond too in the future. Within this video I will show you a couple of examples of these kits, then I will show the process of getting one ready for fermentation, then finally I will show you the end beer and give you my tasting notes. So let's get started. Here is a look at the packaging of these two different flash brewing kits that came to be in Norway all the way from California in the US. Both of these kits offer the end volume of 5 US gallons of beer, which is just under 19 litres to the rest of us. Morebeer have a pretty big range of these flash brewing kits that vary from German wheat beer through to big IPAs, with 11 different kits available at the time of making this video. To have such a large range of kits so soon shows to me that Morebeer really believe in the future of flash brewing. The Best Buds Pale Ale kit shown here is a unique kit that offers a 5.8% ABV Mosaic and Citra fueled Pale Ale. This kit is true to its name, as when Mosaic and Citra hops are combined, great things are set to happen. Let's now take a look inside the box. First thing we see in the box here is this colourful information sheet that includes a tap handle insert on the bottom right, which is certainly a very nice touch. In turning this sheet over now, you can see on the reverse side that we have full instructions on how to prepare, brew, ferment and bottle this as an end beer. Naturally, bottling isn't essential here. I added mine to a keg. This is all very simple and easy stuff, and I will show you a demonstration of putting one together shortly. Next in the box we have a hop shot. This hop shot is a hop oil that is a result of a special process that just adds bitterness to your beer without the need for boiling. Then we have a couple of bags of cryo hops from Yakima Chief, which are Mosaic and Citra as previously mentioned. Each of these two bags are 1 ounce in weight, which is just over 28 grams. Next we have a single sachet of yeast known as flash yeast, which is said to offer a rapid fermentation, which I can certainly confirm. The other really good thing here is that this yeast offers a wide range of fermentation temperatures. At the higher end of the range, which is 85 degrees Fahrenheit or 29 degrees C, you can have this fermented and done in 3 to 4 days. However, you can ferment as low as 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees C, which would naturally take a little bit longer. Then lastly here we have what Morebeer are calling flash malt, which provides your fermentables. Here I also have the Ugly Fish IPA, a 7% ABV beer, which is a very popular recipe that Morebeer already offered in the form of an all-grain and extract brewing kits. The recipe for this one is modelled after the Ballast Point Sculpin IPA. This flash brewing version is the most expensive of the 3 different kits, but only by a mere $5 US, so no big deal really, as frankly a flash brewing kit will offer you all kinds of convenience, as you will see as this video unfolds further. As you have already seen, this kit contains similar types of ingredients, though the amount of hop oil is greater, as this is going to be more bitter being an IPA compared to a Pale Ale. This is the kit that I will be putting together next. Let's now go through the steps involved in the process of putting one of these together. Like with all kits and forms of brewing, your first task is to clean, rinse and then sanitize your fermentation vessel and all other items that will come into contact with your wort. To make this nice and easy, I'm using a bucket blaster with a Fermzilla 27 litre triconical unitank along with the appropriate chemicals for each step. Because this type of Fermzilla has a separate collection container, I'm taking this one through the process separately at the side. And for ease and so that I can utilise what I already have, the container is one step behind the fermenter. The very next step is to add the majority of your needed water into the fermenter according to the instructions. If your own tap water at home is good enough to drink, then this will work. If not, then it is wise to buy some mineral water from your local supermarket and use that instead. Beer is of course mostly water, so it's a vitally important ingredient to how your end beer will taste. You should now add in all of your flash malt, which is easy enough as it pours very well out of its packaging if you snip a corner off of the bag. After this, add in your hops. In this case of this kit, there are 2, Amarillo and Simcoe, which are effectively used for dry hopping. These can be added at the start or later on, up to you. Then with this kit we have 2 hop shots for bittering, and these are also added at the start. Then our yeast is added, and then finally we top up with water. Do not be concerned at this stage if you see any dry ingredients within your fermentation vessel. this is normal and there is actually no need to stir or mix at all, as given a short amount of time this will fix itself. Within about 4 hours fermentation had kicked off rather nicely. I fermented this beer at 21 degrees Celsius, the equivalent of 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Within 7 days fermentation was totally over, so at that point I transferred the beer into a keg. This was then added to my kegerator for carbonation and serving. Let's now take a look at the finished beer, starting with the pour, and I will then give you my tasting notes. Here you can see that the pour from the tap is a very light golden colour, but here it is once in the glass and you'll see that the end beer is a hazy golden. What you see here is totally natural, as I've not used any fining agents whatsoever, but naturally the clarity of the beer could be greatly improved if that matters to you. This beer has been under 12 psi of pressure, which is 0.83 bars, and I'm using this pressure for serving too. This example you'll see here is at around the turbic point from kegging, which I feel is a great time to start drinking IPA when it is still nice and fresh. So let's now go through my tasting notes, starting with aroma. The aroma found here is very citrus with notes of pine and mixed fruit. Flavour. On entry the flavour is clean and light, which then moves into leading flavours of orange, peach, lemon, lime and apricot, with some mango, berry and pine in the background along with some dankness. This then finishes with a firm bitterness that has a grapefruit edge to it. In terms of notes, I will say that I am somewhat surprised just how good this beer is, considering that it came from, at least in part, powder. Certainly it is, in this case at least, better tasting than beer that is made from kits that are extract based, where you simply add water and yeast. It is, however, lacking somewhere when compared to all grain produced beer, or beer produced by a quality fresh wort provider. I say somewhere because quite simply I have struggled to pinpoint exactly where, but I would put it that there is something of that extra spark lacking, but in fairness this beer is very drinkable and certainly very acceptable all the same, and it stands higher than mass-produced brewery beer in the same way that quality craft brewery beer does too. In the small amount of blind tasting tests that I conducted, the majority of people identified it as freshly brewed beer rather than a kit-based beer, which is certainly a very good sign. My final impression of this IPA is certainly very positive. The hop content sings really well due to the use of quality Simcoe and Amarillo hops, along with a very nice light malt base. Other standout features of this IPA are that it is very clean and easy drinking. So here are some closing thoughts from me based on just this one kit test. Personally, I found this process to be very easy, and because the yeast supplied is so flexible when it comes to fermentation temperature, this suits a fast route to easy beer with a minimum amount of equipment. So it could be said that this kit is ideal for those that are looking to create good quality beer with a minimum amount of equipment and, of course, a minimum amount of time. I believe that it will also be acceptable to those that have a full all-grain brewing setup but lack the time for a full all-grain brew and simply need to fill a keg quickly, which is also a large part of why the fresh wort kit market is very buoyant too. Please do let myself and the community know what you think of this video, as well as flash brewing beer kits. It's always appreciated to have feedback. Cheers everyone. I do hope that you found this video useful, informative and interesting. If so, why not consider liking and subscribing? For further support you can join the channel's Facebook group, and if you would like to support the channel then check out the channel's merchandise store, as all profits go back into the channel. Until next time, happy brewing!